Hello everybody, I am Sammy15, the Dragon Team here today, and today we're doing yet another Pokemon TCG Regionals of someone who did well in the Masters Division this spring Regionals, and that is uh, Tim Bentkowski. I pronounced it right, correct?
That's correct.
Whew, we finally got one right, people. But anyway, you managed to do well with this Yveltal Maxi's deck and managed to make top 32 in Utah with it. And this was week two, correct?
I thought it was week 3.
Okay, week three. So,
Yeah, it was Fates Collide legal.
all right, all right, okay. There's not as much. Just wanted to make sure. But before we begin, I noticed you're using the exact same list that won Madison Regionals. And before we go too much into it, why did you decide to go with Yveltal deck in this particular list in general?
Um, I hadn't played any since States. I didn't do too well at States, so I had zero playtesting going into the weekend. Any decks I did playtest, I played in a couple LCs that I just didn't like the decks. I had played Sable Garb and Dawn Fan into weeks leading up, and they just weren't doing it for me. And I saw that this did well. It's like 4 cards different than the list I played at Arizona Regionals, so I was pretty familiar with what you're trying to accomplish with it. So it's a good choice. It's winning. Didn't have to test too much to get a feeling. I still got. I think I was like 85% for turn one maxis throughout the day.
Nice. But you decided just to play the exact 60 card mirror. You didn't try to add anything so fancy from Fate's Collide or anything like that. Any
No,
reason for that?
not really. I just thought it was a good list. The only card I thought that was missing, and I thought about it throughout the day, was I really felt that instead of the AZ, Zero Sick would have been better in that slot.
Yeah, I think I would have liked Zero Sick in the deck too, but that's just me, something me and my friends been testing out with in general. But um, so yeah, you did pretty well with this list and did pretty well with the deck in general this entire day. So walk us through your regionals run. How did you do? What did you play round one?
Round one, I played against Trevenant Mega Alakazam. Um, it just went well. I got the Dark matchup. I got early, got a turn one Fright Night set up with Dark
Nice.
Patch and Double Colorless, and it just with Fright Night active, even Alakazam, no Spirit Link, and Dark Weakness against Trevenant. And the great thing about Fright Night, it even stops the weakness policy tech because they still have weakness with Fright Night active.
Yep. That's an interesting deck they were playing. So I'm guessing you 2-0'd that deck, correct?
Yeah, I 2-0'd. I
Yeah.
started. I think it was running just a 2-2 Alakazam line, but I started. As I went out through the day, even here, I just noticed. Every day match, I felt like I just want 4 Fright Night Yveltal. I want to start that Pokemon in every match.
Friday Yveltal is pretty darn good. So how did round two go for you?
Round 2, I won. I played against the Dark Mirror match. My opponent sadly got a game 1 loss for having a Decklist error.
Oh, those are the worst.
And so I quickly 1-0'd him. I Yveltal mirror match. I was able to start with Fright Night, and he started with a Yveltal EX. So I was attacking for basically 120 damage divided between 2 Pokemon.
Oh, that just your opponent did not have a left to pay that day
Yeah.
apparently. Oh, that sucks. So you're two going into round three. What do you play there?
I played the Yveltal mirror match, so I had a lot of
Oh
experience, and
man.
I did get the steamroll in the second round. But in round 3, first game went pretty long. I got steamrolled. Game 2, I got a really bad start. Got Gexdist down to 2 cards.
Oh,
Just no supporters. Had to attach double colorless and pass, and it got a. He was playing an enhanced hammer in his list, and that came up big in both games.
okay, okay.
Yeah, and having the enhanced hammer affect me made me really think that was part of like, man, I should have had. I even had the zero sick like in my deck box the night before, and I counted 61 cards, and I went and looked at the Madison list and noticed it didn't have a zero six. So I was like, okay, he had this. Like, The Az is good in the mirror match or in the Sable Guard matchup if they're trying to stick a Pokemon active with Team Aqua's hidden base.
Yeah, but Sable Guard really isn't much of a thing anymore at this point, I
Yeah,
think, for whatever reason. I think just people don't want to play it.
it's I think the Dark matchup if like the Turbo Darkrai they can't hammer off if you go like double Elixir Dark Patch on turn 1.
Yeah.
There's just not enough hammers to keep up.
And that I think most Sable Guard players are like always scared of Groudon, like Primal Groudon decks. Is like
Yeah,
those decks are really good. But the weird thing is about those decks, like no one plays them because like you need 4 beaches.
yeah. Primal Groudon was another thing. I had planned to buy some tropical beaches, but then some financial things came up and I wasn't able to. That's why I
Stupid
didn't play it in the
money
weekend.
issues. But
But then round 4,
you're 3-0 at this point, correct?
no, I got steamrolled that match. So
Oh,
I
you
was
got
2-1.
2-1. That's a pretty good record nonetheless. So round 4.
Round 4, I played California player. I forgot his name, but we ended up drawing. It was another Dark Mirror match. But in game 3, I was way ahead, but wasn't able to get it in time. Just too much shuffling in the format.
Yeah.
Like people, yeah, just I think they shuffle a little too much. Normally, 6 rifle or 6 mass shuffles should be good enough.
I kind of agree with that, but like at the same time, I like to shuffle a lot myself. But that's just because like my deck just comes too easily because I just have sweaty hands and it's weird. But that's just me. Um, so you're 2-1 at this point. How do you feel? Like I'm guessing at this point,
It's like that's got to win 4 in a row to get in at that point. It's
yeah.
just, stress is really getting to me at that point. It's just so I got some lunch, refocused, drank a lot of water. Buy a water bottle if you're playing in these events. Keep it on the floor, like between your legs. Just drink. You can drink. Your opponent's going to be shuffling for 10 minutes during their turn, so you have plenty of time to stay rehydrated.
Oh yeah. And when I first started playing Pokemon myself, like for the first year or so, I was always dehydrated after events, and like I realized I'd never had a water bottle on me, so I got my own like refillable water bottle. I'm like, it's been a lifesaver. That like, oh my god, I can't tell you how much you really need water bottles at these events because you don't
And
realize it, but
modern convention centers have those water fountains that just have the sensor that just fill up the bottle for you.
I love
Those
those.
are great too.
I love those so much. I get the most maximum amount of water out of it. Anyway, enough about wonderful hydration issues. Um, how, so what was round 5 like for you?
Round 5 was a Trevenant match again. I played against another California player, nice guy. Part of they all drove up together. He was so it's Trevenant. Game 1, I start Fright Night Yveltal, get it set up turn 1, and sweep them pretty quick. In a long drowned out match, you have to take 6 prizes, so the games they don't bench shamans and stuff against you. So game 1 goes really long. Game 2, he turn 1 item locks me, and I concede on turn 3. Game 3, I get down to like 2 prizes, and time's called, and I can't get the last 2 in turns.
So you tied there?
Yep. So another draw. I ended up 4-1 and 3 over the day. So round 6, I played against forgot the player's name, but he was playing Mew Landorus, which interesting deck. I started Fright Night Yveltal both games, and it one-shots a Mew, put 60 damage on Landorus. I did get Lance jump-admitted by a Mew in one game, but when that's the only way you can take like knockouts in 1 or 2 turns is to discard all your energy with no way to get it back. I guess that's for like Night March or Vespiquen. That deck's really good. It does not seem good against Dark.
No, like we've also just kind of resisted hard in the first place, and Mew is just too fragile. Like this deck you just
50 hit points, not enough.
Yeah, this deck just goes young.
So yeah, that was quick 2-0. It took, I think like 5 of my rounds took 15 minutes, and the rest were all draws.
Wow, that's hilarious. This format's so weird.
Round round 7, I played against another California player, part of that group. He was playing the Mega Deontay deck. Like I think he's played it at quite a few regionals, but
I didn't know that was a thing.
it's this one guy. He's played it at a few regionals. He topped with it he topped 32'd in Arizona.
Nice.
I guess I think he topped 32'd here too. But yeah, it's hard. You have to Lysander around everything. But game 1 took like 38 minutes. He won that. I won game 2 fairly quickly, and then I was very far ahead in game 3 when time was called.
Yeah.
So I played against 3 California players on the weekend and drew against all 3 of them. If that said something about California players.
Maybe they're a little slow.
They just they think out their moves.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I actually think if it was 60-minute rounds, it'd add about an hour and a half to each tournament, but I think there would be way less draws.
You're kind of preaching to the choir. I think everyone's in kind of an agreement. Like, yeah, 60 minutes would probably be the best. But yeah. So, how did your last round go?
Last round I got paired up against a Trevenant player who didn't get a turn 1 item lock either game. So
yeah,
and that's what I was kind of expecting. Lots of mirror matches, lots of Trevenant, and I just wanted to hit more Trevenants than mirror matches. That's how it went. If you get a Fright Night set up turn 1, it one-shots non-break Yveltal or non-break Trevenant.
Yeah.
That's a big. It's again, it shuts off weakness policy, and that's their one defense against you.
Nope. So the decks that you played at the Utah regionals, we played against were 3 or 4 Yveltal decks mirror matches. You said
3 Yveltal mirror matches, 3 Trevenant, 1 Deontay, and 1 Mew Toolbox or Mew Landorus.
that's kind of a weird stuff to play against. Mirrors, Trevenants, random stuff.
Yeah, that's what I expect going into an expanded tournament throughout this season. Is you're going to play in an 8-round tournament. You're going to play 2 Yveltal decks, 2 Trevenant decks, and 4 other decks.
Yeah, probably one or two of those decks being on a Night March deck, and like maybe Vestoquin, Violet Bloom deck, and of course just random shit.
Yeah, round 1
Maybe
like in a big
Groudon.
tournament is supposed to be random. Yeah, Groudon, just because it requires the beaches is it's like 5% of the format. So
Yeah, like every time I see like someone who actually does like manage to get Primal Groudon and like manage to get the deck together, they do well with it. They like make top 8 or better, it seems.
It's I took 21st at Portland playing Primal Groudon. There was one point in the tournament I was on a table and it was everyone at the table. One of the matches was Primal Groudon and one of them was the Primal Groudon mirror, and they all had beaches.
Oh my god, the amount of money there.
Yeah, this was the weekend so it's the first weekend Puzzle of Time was legal, so everyone was expecting Sable Garb everywhere. So everyone showed up with their Groudon decks.
Yeah. They asked all their friends, like, hey, let's get all our beaches together.
Yeah, so I borrowed some from a friend. I didn't ask him again this time.
Yeah.
I could have, but I had planned up into the week before buying the beaches, so I didn't think I would have needed to borrow them. He ended up playing 2 of them. He topped 16 or he was at top like 20 playing just Vespiquen Flareon.
Nice. So you managed to go 4-1-3, and essentially you went up basically 5-2, which is actually pretty good.
5-3. It's okay.
You're right.
I think
You're right. My bad.
yeah. So I think with just a little more time or if I would have played, I misplayed my very first mirror match way wrong, but it prepared me, or my second mirror match, the mirror match I lost. I played fairly wrong, just not having played that mirror match enough, but that helped me. The one Trevenant deck that I did have problems with was the Hammer version, which I think if you want a decent dark matchup with Trevenant, you need to be playing the Crushing and Enhanced Hammers.
Okay, fair enough. So, even though we basically said one or two things you would like to add or take out, what looking back, what card did you wish that you took out or add in or something like that?
Definitely zero sick. Just between being able to knock off the plus 40 life card, Fighting Fury Belt,
Hmm.
or just double colorless energy is huge in a lot of matches. I think the biggest mistake was not playing one of those.
And what would you have taken out for one of those? The AZ?
The AZ, or pretty much the AZ. I think everything else in the list is pretty tight. Otherwise, I would have probably played another Fright Night Yveltal over the XY Yveltal. I think I attacked with it once throughout the whole day.
Yeah, I think like some people are saying that XY Yveltal is only like good for like weird spots. But...
It's really good in the Night March matchup.
Oh yeah.
I think the deck just with especially with the Maxi engine has a very consistent to getting the turn 1 or turn 2 Fright Night attack is like pretty much always possible.
Yeah. Not to mention you can take like maybe 2 or 3 prizes with a alone a Yveltal if you're not 2 or 3 prizes, but like 1 or 2 prizes with like an Yveltal.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So before we let you go, I've like how many championship points did you have going into this event? And how
I
many?
had 269 going into it, so I'm at
Ooh,
299 right now. But I have 2 LC wins still available to me, and we have like
okay,
12 of them coming up this month.
okay. So I sincerely hope that you actually do manage to make your world's invite, because like if not, like I can just imagine how salty you will be.
So yeah, it would be. It'd be fairly upsetting, but I'm fairly confident I can do it.
Oh yeah, always be confident in yourself, and that's if you're confident in yourself, you're more likely to be able to do better. People who
I've
say,
already booked my hotel for Worlds.
"Wow, this guy's confidence."
Yeah. Due to work commitment, I can't make nationals though.
Oh, so you're not going to nationals?
No, I would have went had I been able to make. If I would have top 8'd Utah regionals, I would have been in top 100 US.
Ah, okay. So like,
But with that not being there, it's just I don't want to spend $1,000 to not. I'd have to top 8 to top 16, so it's not even. I'd have to top 4 to top 16. So
it's not really worth it for you. I'm guessing the only way you really would have felt like you need to go to nationals if you didn't get any points from this regionals couple weeks.
I had a very poor state season.
And so did I, but had a poor season in general. So like, but like so you said that you're pretty confident making Worlds Invite. Since we have a couple more minutes, are there any decks you're the most curious and most anxious to play for Worlds, or you kind of want to keep that secret?
Worlds, it's going to be depend like Utah or not Utah, U.S. Nationals. Like whatever does well there is going to be a very large percent of the metagame, and I expect it's going to be like 30 to 40% Night March. Like nothing in standard has changed to make it to where Night March is dominance from standard is or from states. It's just still there. There's nothing changed in Fates Collide, and we're not going to get that promo from Japan in time. So
Yeah, a lot of people are just saying that like that's probably not going to happen, but so yeah, Night March is probably going to be maybe the play. There's a couple other stuff, but like, well, I'm definitely going to be looking at nationals as long as like pretty much the rest of the world, because
yeah,
everyone's kind of worried about nationals, U.S.
yep,
nationals. But anyway, thank you for your time here. Thank you for sharing us your list, even though it's not exactly yours. But thank you
yeah.
anyway. Please like, subscribe, all this other stuff, and I shall see you guys again next time.
Have a good night.